I'm live. These are not my words. These are messages from your descendants. My body get taken over. The messages come through and they must come out. But I have to tell you what it's going to take to make heaven on this earth. In the beginning, it was the NAACP that was rallying for Black Americans. In the beginning, the NAACP descendants, their children, they got educated. In the beginning, the Muhammad, the Islam of New York's of United States of America, mostly New York City, and mostly in the cities of America and throughout the Americans. There was an organization that was ran by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, in the beginning, took and rescued undesirables that are known as undesirables today, people addicted to drugs severely, incarcerated severely, took them and gave them and shared with them his Holy Spirit, and they was able to regain life. They was able to never again use drugs. They was able to break the chain of degradation to their families, their friends, and associates. And these are mostly the Black Americans today that no longer are running these organizations. It's like it's a self for self. And I'm not talking about the Muslim organization stating that they're taking care of their people that's within their organization. I'm talking about throughout them all, the churches, everybody. Everybody got bigger than thou. I'm greater than you. In the congregations, holier than thou. You are not going to see heaven. I am. You're wrong. I'm right. This, that, this, that. The degradation of communications, of congregations of all kinds. And they brought me on here to say this. At this point, everywhere I go, they follow me. At this point, we have immigrants that have to leave America and back to their land with no economic economy. And the economic economy should be in their land. United States has to stop getting things made in China and made in all other places other than lands that we can help develop and conquer in peace. And conquer in peace. These undeveloped lands need to be developed. They don't need to be made out of resorts, vacations. The ghettos of these lands throughout the world need to be heaven on earth. And the way we're going to do that is by separating. If you do not rebuild your ghettos, you will lose your ghettos. Who wants to live in the ghettos? There's not enough people rebuilding. This is why we take the government and make them be held accountability to rebuild the ghettos without the thievery of gentrification. What do I mean by that? In the ghettos of America right now, you have fake buildings being built in the name of poor and public housing, in which they are not being given to the poor and public housing. They are being given straight for their new world, their new economic economy, people with money. while in a treason way, enslaving people once again, putting them in shelters, giving landlords 20 times the amount of rent. For example, if the rent is $1,000 in that building, the landlord is getting 10,000, 12,000, 15,000. That's slavery. That's the equivalent of picking cotton. That's slavery. That's government treason. LA. Government rich man gentrification. Okay? They want to rebuild these lands. So all of these lands and throughout the world that these immigrants have to go back to is where United States need to be having their products built. Not in China. Not in China. Enough of it. Enough of it. Let's rebuild these people lands where they don't have to come back at all and want to think that this is their America is their way. Let them be able to deny applications. And that gets me to my point. Who have been the most affected by this hell on this earth have been the gang members, entrapped to do things by entrapment, not allowing them to get a job, by starving them. Yeah, Elon Musk. Yeah, you said it right. Enslaved them. Yeah, you said it all right, sir. Yes, you did. You said it all right. Everywhere I go. But this message got to come out because the gang members have to sue for the prohibition of marijuana. And that's that. What do I mean by that? They have to have the full control of that. Why? They was enslaved. They was enslaved. They was entrapped. They was jailed. And you know all the horrible things that go with that. Because of this marijuana. Now you want to make it legal? Same thing you did to Al Capone. Now you want to steal our lottery? You got to get loose, Donald. You got to lose the ghetto lottery. You got to separate the lottery. You got to give us, as the spirit of Malcolm X soul had me review just a couple of seconds, because I'm not educated by no man. And nor am I dictated by no one. These are their words. We have to have states that's respected with human rights for Black Americans. Human rights for Black Americans. We need home ownerships, that HO, whatever those things are that can move people, homes and stuff. We need communities where we don't have no parts of things like that. People that can take your whole house that's paid for and garbage like that if you don't pay a home association and all of that nonsense. We don't need that. Black Americans have to demand that there be a trial about this housing preservation development money, President Donald Trump, because the ghettos of America have been robbed and the United Nations of America have been lied to, that this money that is being billed in the ghettos of this gentrification, whatever that word is, stolen, because it's not being given to affordable housing. And that's point blank bottom line, period. Thievery and treason was committed among the trillions of dollars, has to have a trial, and ghettos have to be resurrendered. These are messages from my descendants. This is not me. I'm not an Omar. I'm not an Omar. Okay? Black Americans, you have to gather the kings and queens of the world, which are mostly turned into gang members and riffraff and gutter rats. You have to share your Holy Spirit with them and pick them back up and know that it's time for them to use their Holy Spirit to save this world and sue for the prohibition of marijuana so they can use that money to redevelop countries. ghettos, and states. Have full control of it of every way because it was grown for the revelation to save the world. And wherever the immigrants are going, buy land in their country, so in fact they can mine the marijuana, have it only ruled by the gang members of the world. Why? Why not? They've been having to support the wars of America by selling illegal drugs. That's why. That's why. Well, I keep walking room to room trying to avoid these children and keep running up on me. But I had to get that message out because it would be heaven or be no earth. And everyone has to use their Holy Spirit to save the world. Let me recap. They're telling me to recap what I got on here to say. We need a trial and an investigation of the housing preservation development money in all government funding of housing preservation. And the ones that have already been developed. Okay? The housing that has already been developed, that is not being given to the ghettos in which they was developed. In all of the ghettos. Or we have to have a place where Black Americans are respected, humanity, and be able to live in harmony. I'll put that date up so y'all not supposed to be able to pass. Let's get back to it. Get this message out because this is not me. This is not me. This is not me. Spirit of Malcolm X, step forth. Jesus, 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 man of humanity. You are a king and queen. Serve your God and share your God, Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit is love. This has to be heaven or be no earth. Real negotiations need to be made, President Donald Trump. You have to use your Holy Spirit and stop this despair and give and make a deal with the gang members of America to take all the fentanyl and heroin off your streets and sell marijuana in all kinds of ways and have the full control of it, gummies, every medical, everything, and take it out the stock market and just have it be their stock market so they can rebuild the world of peace and harmony, not an uprising. Peace and harmony, because there will be no wars fought with human bodies. I had to get on and get this message. I can't wait to see what the message was myself. Like I told you, I'm not an Omar. These are not my messages. These are messages from the spiritual army angels. I was born for this. And they had me recognize that at the age of 5 years old. It will be heaven, or will be no earth. It's too much despair. So President Donald Trump, you have to save these other countries, and you have to save these immigrants when they go to their country. They have to mine the marijuana of the ghettos of the world. And the gang members have to be in control of that so they can take all the fentanyl, heroin, and all the pills and everything off the street. And that's that. They said so be it written. It will be done. It will be heaven or be no earth. That's what they're telling me. They call it schizophrenia. Call it what you want. It's not what you call me. It's what I answer to. Like I told you, my body get taken over. I gotta come on and I gotta say these things. This is the messages from your descendants that died for your right to vote, that you disrespected. You was tricked into disrespecting. Okay? There's other ways they are gentrifying us. There's other ways they are deleting us. There's other ways they are dispersing us. And that's through brainwashing us. They brainwash you against your vote. They brainwashing you against your president, saying one thing another, one thing another, one thing another, one thing. Which one is it? How is White House able to come on and say, we're not going to affect the average American citizens, and then we have news reports, oh, they are affecting the average citizens. I'm not even going to repeat the things they've been saying because that's what they want. Simon Says. Stop doing Simon Says. Make heaven on this earth. I want to see what they had me say. Have a good day. Thank you.